you need to be able to deal with clients. You need to be able to be humble and work with the people around you. Morning guys, Steve Bewley here for Mandylights. We have another video for you here today. It's a lovely day here today in England, pissing down again. You know, we just get used to it around these parts, but you know, it's still a great day nonetheless. Mandylights U is out there. We did a soft launch the other day, and it's had a really good response, which is amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to have another little quick discussion, rant, whatever you want to call it. And this is just about a couple of fundamental things that get forgotten about when people get into the world of light and design. You know, it seems that when people learn some skills and learn some stuff, and you know, then eventually get out there and start having some success, there's a massive level of arrogance that comes with this role, I suppose, because you're working in such a high profile environment with celebrities and all this kind of thing, traveling the world. It sometimes lends itself to develop a certain level of arrogance, shall we say. And at the end of the day, how do we break this down, right? And it's like, we're not sending rockets to the moon, we're not brain surgeons or anything. We flash lights, that's it. We create something that flashes on and off, and yeah, it might look beautiful, it might create like moods and things like this, but the arrogance is just sometimes astounding for what we actually do. You know, if I was, personally, if I was like a brain surgeon or something like this, sending rockets to the moon, I would have something to be very kind of arrogant about and proud of myself about. But still, I wouldn't be arrogant about the whole thing. It's like, it just pisses me off to see people with this level of arrogance, and especially in younger guys who, like I said, they have their first taste of success and things like that, and they eventually get on the way, and the arrogance just comes out, and it's fucking astounding. It really is. And that is not going to translate well across your career, because once you get known as that arrogant person, people just don't want to work with you. It's as simple as that, really. If you're stepping into a room, for example, and you're there with the client who's the artist, and they're this mega star, and you walk in with this ego trying to be bigger than them, they ultimately should be the biggest ego in the room, because they're the pop star or the rock star, and you walking in there with this ego trying to match them is only ultimately going to fuck it up for you, if I'm honest, and especially down the way as well. I mean, the top guys in this industry, you'll find, are super humble, and they're just lovely people, and that's why they're at the top of the game, because they realize that the arrogance just doesn't shine through as you get through this, as you get through your career. And that's why they've stayed, the top guys I'm talking about, and many under those as well, who constantly get these huge jobs and clients, and you see the same names constantly doing the big jobs. And those guys, I've met most of them, and they're all humble, and they're lovely people. And it just seems that this is earlier on in people's career, there's a lot of arrogance. So I just wanted to flag this and try and let people know that, just to rein it in a little bit if you find yourself getting a little bit arrogant. I mean, there's difference between giving a shit and wanting the best for your show and arrogance. Arrogance is like people's manner and how they go about things, and the way they speak to people and portray themselves, and think there's some kind of higher power to everybody else just because they've got this client or that client. And at the end of the day, this industry is so fickle that you could instantly lose everything that you have in a moment, you know. So it just doesn't resonate with me, this whole arrogance thing, and I think people should really just check themselves and rein it in a little bit. But you know, who am I to tell you what to do or not what to do what the hell you want? But you know, it's just an observation. It's a topic open for discussion that we often talk about. And you know, for example, like if I was looking out for an operator to come in and look after a show, and 90% of what we look for is actual personality. So obviously there's an element of skill involved in putting people in a situation, but you know, there's a few fundamental things you need to look for, and the personality of the person is right at the top. That is top of the list. And it's, if you've got the person's got a shit attitude and the wrong personality, that doesn't wash, you know. You're going to get removed, or you're just not even going to get to the job in the first place. So again, the arrogance and the, you know, the attitude and all of that just doesn't fly, and people who think it does ultimately are not going to last very long in this industry, or are just going to stay at a certain level and work with the same people and, you know, never progress and into bigger and better things. So, you know, just jumping back to that, if, you know, like I said, you need to be able to deal with clients, you need to be able to be humble and work with the people around you and not piss everybody off, and, you know, not go out and get drunk and piss everyone off, which is a huge thing in this industry, which I'll talk about in another video, because frankly it's not condoned anymore. There's this huge thing, you know, sex, drugs and rock and roll about this industry, but it's just not a thing anymore. So I'll talk about that in another video. So anyone who's wanting to get into this industry because of that, you know, take heed on this warning. It's not about sex, drugs and rock and roll anymore. It's a professional environment. So if that's what you're getting into this for, then, you know, I'd probably just reassess your values right now. Anyway, so yeah, the level of arrogance, we've had to dismiss people from tours because of these attitude problems, and again, just because you can program a console, because, you know, you've designed this show or that show, nobody really gives a shit. It's like, as I said, what we're doing is relatively simple in the world, and we live in this bubble and think that, you know, everyone's gonna look at us and go, well, wow, that's amazing, and all this kind of thing. And I've, you know, back in the early days, I was guilty of thinking, wow, everyone would think I was great doing this, but then that quickly got knocked out of me by certain, you know, mentors back in the day. And yeah, so just be humble, guys, and, you know, assess your attitude and everything like that, because people want to work with nice people, and this industry is all about people. So it's people might, you know, you might get recommended on something that you've achieved and something that you've produced, but that's only one hurdle. You need to get through the rest of the process. And if you've got a bad attitude and, you know, you know, you don't know how to work with people, it's all about yourself, and it extends to how you design your show as well. I mean, you need to look at what you're actually doing, and you're designing the show for the artist. The artist has brought you in to help them enhance their show. That's why they've brought you in. So people who have this attitude of it's all about, you know, it's all about the lights and how the light show looks, it's not. It's essentially down to what that artist wants. They're paying the bills, they've brought you in, and you need to adhere to what that artist is saying. By all means, if they have an idea and they say something, come to you and ask for, you know, if to try something, you can work with them and say, if you know it's not going to work, how about you try it and show them anyway that it doesn't work, instead of people just throwing their toys out the pram and getting pissed off about, oh, they're ruining my fucking show and all this crap. But that's just a load of horseshit, because it's not about you, it's about the client, and they're paying the bills. And like I said, there's been many times when a client has approached me and asked for a certain thing, and I roll with it and show them what they've asked for, even if I think it's not going to work. But it's better to show them that it's not going to work, because then it develops trust with the artist, because then you've expressed your expertise, and you're actually listening to them. And a lot of the time artists do not feel listened to, and that's why you'll end up finding that crews get dismissed and lighting designers are not rehired for the next tour, or everything like that. So just be sympathetic to all of these things, and just have a bit of humility, and just listen to, be sympathetic to the artist, because that's what they want. Like, listen to what they want. So anyway, guys, another quick one for you today, and I hope this has spurred some questions and things in your mind. And by all means, if you want to hit me up on social media, do so. If you think I'm talking shit, hit me up, we'll discuss it. Cool, rightio, so I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care, bye bye.